Rookie here. It's the Pat and JT podcast.
Pat and JT podcast.
Sometimes when the video like you pop up, it's kind of like that. You turn on your phone and open Instagram or whatever, and your camera's back facing. You don't realize how close you are to the camera.
I know. I'm like, okay,
jarring.
sit back. Oh,
I'm like, oh, sorry, everybody who's trying to eat lunch.
Didn't realize. But we're back. We could not be on time. I swear to God, if our lives depended on it.
I know.
I swear.
That's why we put a window of time.
But that's why we like podcasts.
Yeah.
Typically, 99.9% of the time, it works in our favor until we do a Facebook Live.
Right. And then,
and then the truth comes out. Oh my God. All right. So, good Lord. It's already Memorial Weekend this weekend.
I know. I thought it was another week yet, but it seems early to me, like just in May. You know,
it's like, didn't we just have Mother's? Wait, I guess that was in May.
I know.
Wasn't it just Easter? Oh, that was in April. It just feels like everything's happened so fast.
It's just crazy. It's crazy.
The timeline is sped up. And if you're a conspiracy theorist, you know what I mean.
Oh my gosh.
Got to throw some of those in. So the weekend, what happened this weekend? Anything?
Projects. Beth got up on Sunday and was like, hey, I have an idea. And by Sunday night at 6:00, I was taking a spade and jabbing bushes out of the front of our little area to make a little front patio area. It's super awesome. Yeah. I am sore than a mofo today. Oh my gosh. Just so sore.
Yeah, I did some of that stuff too. I was cutting tree branches because my trees have gone, like everybody's tree with this rain and everything else. And then yesterday, of course, was basically just a wash, just like let it rain all day. But Saturday I did that and just, because the trees are just like going crazy and you can't mow under them because they're heavy and the branches are hanging so low.
Right. It's like, I feel like we're living in the Amazon. Like it's
crazy.
So much rain. Yeah, I know.
It is. And then, okay, I'm going to just throw this out here because to this point, I've always had critter feeders, like squirrels and whatever birds want to carry off, peanuts, I guess, really, in the large corn stuff. But I've put out a couple of bird feeders. I've never done that before.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay, I have an aviary in my backyard. It is so noisy.
It's a party, man. The free hors d'oeuvres just got laid out.
Cardinals flying, finches flying. There's birds I've never seen before. I mean, just like I'm trying to take pictures of them because I'm like, oh my God, what are those? And there's like a little like coffee clutch over here of 8 birds hanging out together over on one side of the yard, and they're all picking stuff up off the floor and off the ground. And then there's a bunch of them hanging on a feeder. There's a couple on the suet. There's like
I know. That's our backyard's the exact same way. And that's why we really went over we are now Old Bridge 2 summers ago and bought binoculars.
Yeah.
So we can see. And it's actually still kind of embarrassing when we fire the binoculars up. Like, hey, what kind of bird is that? Like, I never thought I'd ever be that guy.
No, I'm taking pictures at 10x on my phone trying to catch them on the feeder, and that's not working. So I'm trying, but oh my God, there's so many of them. It's just insane. And then they get to playing like I don't know, they're playing or they're fighting. I'm not really sure, but they're just like dive bombing, flying around, acrobatics, zoom, zoom, and zippity doo dahing around. And then the squawking and the talking.
Yeah. We saw two doves humping in our yard this weekend too. right by the right. Beth thought they were fighting. I'm like, no, babe.
And
they're not fighting. They're getting after because
wrestling.
They were wrestling. Yeah.
Had a couple of the mourning doves. I love those things.
Yeah, that's what they were. That's what they were. Mourning doves, so pretty. And that's the lady was ready to receive, and she was in the grass, and the guy was just kind of walking around, and another dude's like, hey, if you're not going to get after it, I'm going to come in. And one flew down, and he chased him off, and then he came back and started walking around again, and dude came back to try again. Don't hate the player, hate the game. And he got chased off again, and then first guy finally sealed the deal.
Sorry, dude.
Like, come on.
That's funny. Oh my God. And I have no idea how many nests are in these trees, because there's so many that just like, it's like a large apartment building on the Jetsons.
That's what we call
fly in.
That's what we call our right outside of our door to the bird apartment. It's just like they just fly into one hole and then they scatter inside to go to their units.
Like, what's going on in there? The dogs are really cool. They don't chase them at all. They just lay there and watch them. It's just like, for them, this is all new because they've never. And the squirrels are still, some squirrels are hanging out back there, but they don't get much of a reprieve from the dog. But the birds, just like, what am I supposed to do with all these birds? I don't even know what. Is this normal? I'll just leave them over. But it's been fun. So anyway, and then the Preakness was Saturday. So Mystic Dan was the one that won the Derby, ran at the Preakness. I remember the Derby had 20 horses that ran in the Kentucky Derby. 8 ran in the Preakness. And Seize the Gray, I think is the name of the horse that won. Let me double check here. Anyway, the horse, okay, really interesting thing is I didn't know this until after the fact. I was looking up some stuff on the horse because I'd seen, of all people, Bo Derek, but she's always been a horse person.
Okay.
She posted, she's always at the Derby. She's always at that stuff. So, okay, not completely weird, but she had mentioned something about the horse, and congratulations to my 2,000 co-owners. And there's a company called My Racehorse where people can invest in a horse that's bought. And like 2,200 people had invested in this horse. It was bought for, I think he was bought for 300,000 originally. And so they all had a piece of the
wow.
How it all works. I'm not sure what the details are.
Well, if 2,200 people investing, they each probably got what, like $10?
I don't know what the purse was. I mean, if it was $1 million, I think it was like $400 or something. I don't know how it works. I'm not sure what they're guaranteed or what their percentage, their payouts, or how that even works out.
I mean, either way, investing, even if it's $400, it's still kind of a cool thing to be part of.
And what are the odds? You know, right? And it was Dwayne Lucas was the trainer, and he's 88, and he was there bebopping around on the backside, and yeah, got another winner. But it's just fun. I just like watching. Yeah, the Preakness in general. There was a lot of good stuff going on there. It was a lot of fun to watch. I was trying to find two.
That's one of the few sports that I don't understand very well at all, but I love to watch it.
Right? Mm-hmm. It's a ton of fun to watch. That's for sure. I've got a video too from the Preakness. Most people probably didn't see this part of the race. Let me see if I can find it here real quick. Oh gosh, come on. There's so many good pictures. Hold on. I got to find I thought I had it, and I apparently screwed the pooch here. Hold on. God dang it.
While you're looking for that, not to sidebar it too much.
Right?
Did you find if you find it in the next 3 seconds, I won't sidebar us at all. But
go right ahead.
Okay. And I don't mean to be rude. Mm-hmm. But would you ever watch like Dateline 2020? And when they interview people that not necessarily the family members, or sometimes family members but just the surrounding this crime, no matter what it is. And when that person comes on the screen, you're like, whoa, like there's a whole bunch of reasons why to say whoa, but a lot of them are like, you knew that, like, this wasn't a surprise. You knew you were going to be on television. You were going to be on Dateline. They were sitting the cameras up at your house. Like, that's what you came with. That's it. Beth and I both this weekend, we were watching one of them, and we both at the same time, when this person popped, we go, holy, whoa.
Did they surprise her? Or was it a girl or guy? Was it a girl or a guy?
I think it was a girl.
I'm sorry, I wasn't watching you in the moment. I'm sorry. I'm over here looking for my video and I'm listening. I'm like, he just clammed up. What's going on?
I mean, I'm thinking I'm pretty sure it was a girl, but it was, I don't know. So
Okay. All right.
Yeah, in anything. I could get it if you're like it's a flood and the news is out there and you're like running or whatever and you don't have time to get yourself ready, but you probably had a couple weeks to plan your Luke for your interview.
Right? Yeah, there's probably you probably could have brushed your hair.
And yeah, and not even like your clothes, it's like just more the whole deal. It's like, I mean, help us help you.
All right, I found my video.
Okay.
I'm going to share this video. This is from the Preakness. And this was one race that I don't know that everybody got a chance to see this race. So I wanted to make sure that we shared because this is called the running of the porta potty, which is right here. And here we go. Literally throwing beer cans at.
Like full beer? What? Why?
Yeah.
What is that? Is it always a thing?
I guess. And I think, and it's not like just one guy does it. It's like they take turns. I mean, see who can get all the way through.
I would love to do that. Not be the runner, but I would love to pitch cans at this dude.
And be encouraged to do so.
Mm-hmm.
No chance of getting in trouble. But yeah, it's like who can go the farthest, who can make it through the whole thing without getting knocked off. It's almost like duck hunt for people.
Yeah.
Ping carnival show.
Yeah. That's funny.
Anyway, so there's that. Let's see here. I was just going through my list. There's a lot of weird stuff that also happened this weekend. You may have seen where Diddy apologized for the video that came out this last week.
He apologized for it getting released. He apologized for what he was doing, but that's the only reason why he apologized for what he's doing, because the video came out.
Without a doubt. And she passed away a few years ago. And there's a whole nother conspiracy that goes with that. If you want, I mean, at the time it was a conspiracy. This is starting to be proven to be a real problem for Diddy. Yeah, he came out and the video that came out was at a hotel, and she apparently grabbed her stuff and was trying to sneak out of the room while he was asleep. And she had her stuff and I'm just, there are just so many parts of me that just like, why didn't you just leave your shit and not carry all that stuff with you? Because she had all the stuff that she took with her. So she was carrying bags. She was going down, and you have the video of the hotel lobby, or the hotel, actually from their hotel room down the hallway to the elevator. And she goes around the corner, she gets the elevator, and she has to hit the button. And then you see the video of him coming out of the hotel room in a towel, running down the hallway after her. And then what happens is just horrific. He threw her around like a rag doll. It's just awful. Now, this video has been buried for a number of years, obviously. And they said that he had paid off a lot of money, changed hands. And remember, he had the bodyguard that was the fixer. And all of his people were told, anything happens, you get a hold of our guy. You know, if it's traffic ticket, whatever it is. And they had the murder that happened outside the studio. Supposedly it actually happened in the studio. But they got it fixed. Yeah. There's just all these things. That was the same bodyguard. We've talked about this before. Same bodyguard, though, that worked for Michael Jackson.
And he was young, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a young guy. I don't know how he got in that position, but anyway, so there's all this stuff is coming out. This video comes out because of all this other stuff that happened with Diddy and all the raids that happened, and all just like everything is crumbling around him, and he disappeared for a while. And then there's a video of him riding a bike down the street like nothing's wrong. You know, it's really weird. But Diddy put out an apology, but he never said her name once in that video.
I know. I noticed that.
He was sorry. He was fully responsible. He never said for what. Mm-hmm. He never said about who. And the thing that's kind of really frustrating is that the district attorney there, where this happened in LA, has said that, there's just nothing we can do. We can't charge him because statute of limitations. I'm like, statute of limitations on almost murdering somebody?
Yeah. Right? I know. What? I know.
What? And what makes me mad is that, I mean, they can change things. I mean, laws have been changed before. We've seen that happen. We've seen that happen most recently. E. Jean Carroll that law was changed
Mhm.
so that she could go after Donald Trump. And other people, as a matter of fact, got swept up in that too, because that law was changed. But they can't on the East. That was on the East Coast. On the West Coast, apparently they can't make that happen. They can't charge him with anything. And they've got that video
Yeah,
of the attack.
I would like to think that would change.
It's sick. It was sick. But along with this, Fiddy, our boy Fiddy Cent, he's out there. He put out all kinds of stuff. He posted one thing. He posted, "Enough is enough," for the last couple of weeks. This came from Diddy, Sean Diddy Combs. It's signed. "For the last couple of weeks, I've sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation, my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth." That was posted not that long ago, but it was about this. That was before the video got released.
Okay, so it was specifically about this.
Yes, it was about the video, but it was
Garbage.
before it got released. And he was just putting his foot down. Enough is enough. I didn't do anything wrong. And Fiddy posted this and has the transcription. Then he says, "The lie detector test has determined this was a lie." Maury vibes. I'm like, ooh.
What? So who released this video? Do we know who dropped it?
I don't know who dropped it. I honestly do not know.
Because if he paid someone a lot of money to keep it out of the wherever, keep it somewhere, either that person was compromised and it was stolen from them, or they flipped,
or it got leaked because they found it in one of his houses.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know.
I suppose he would probably have it. Yeah. I suppose he would probably have it still.
I could see him still having it because he's a narcissist, like he is, that he would keep it instead of destroy it.
Yes.
Because that's the only proof. And he didn't destroy it. And along with that, now there's been a lot of talk about the Kardashians too, because we mentioned this a couple weeks ago. Some stories were coming out about how all the Kardashians used to hang out at the Diddy parties, the freak out parties, right? That he used to have. And now with this raid, it also came out that that apparently there's proof that they were at a lot of these parties, and that they literally said that almost everybody at those parties is compromised one way or another. Well, now they're saying that Kim and Chris in particular were major players in this, especially about 20 years ago. Because there's some videos that came out on E Canada, where not the E Entertainment News here, but the one in Canada, and they posted a bunch of stuff. And one of their reports is of Kim when she was with Paris back in the day, and they were at parties with Diddy.
Interesting. And
that Kim may have got scooped up, and they're literally calling her the honeypot of the scheme. That she was the one that would ensnare certain people then they were involved in videos, that she was one of the.
So when is this going to all come out? Like, is it going to slow roll over?
I think between Fiddy and Kanye.
Yeah.
I think those two know a lot. I remember Kanye was like, "Hey, he's crazy." She was going to 5150 him. The doctors were going to go to Wyoming and take him off the ranch, and all this other shit was going to go down. And he was like, let me tell you what's going on with that family. Remember the movie Get Out? That's me. That is me. They are that movie. They are that family. They are that family. He was like adamant. He was living the movie. That's where he had been before he got away from her. Even though I know he is weird.
Yeah.
And maybe it's questionable too, but that doesn't mean that this crap didn't happen to him. Because I think maybe he started seeing things, and that's when they decided to destroy his character, to let things out about him or say things about him, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they already did that to Fiddy. I can't say Fiddy without saying Fiddy. I can't say 50.
Yeah. Can't say 50.
And 50 cent. What do you call him?
A little sidebar. We finally watched the Tom Brady roast this weekend. And one, I can't remember her name, the female comedian, hilarious, Glazier. She called Kevin Hart 15 cent. It was just, I don't know, it was so funny. It was just out of the blue. I don't know. That was funny.
Sarah has a good question. Going back to the running of the porta potties. What happens if you fall through the roof? I think we know.
That's it. We all know what happens. And are those currently occupied?
I think they are. I think they're the ones, because they certainly don't bring them in just for the race. I think they're the ones that are lined up on the infield. It's all the crazies that go in the infield. That's where all the parties are, right? Are in the infield. That's where the people are camped out all day, drinking all day. It was the 13th race, for God's sake, before the Preakness race. So they were all, I'm sure, very well used.
Yeah.
Which would play in their favor, because they'd be less likely to tip over because they're weighted.
Yeah.
But if they go, they go.
So gross.
I know. All right. So what else? Oh, you brought something earlier this morning too. Just that, not sure if a lot of people saw this. Remember the boat that ran into the bridge in Baltimore?
Yeah.
7 weeks ago. Let's see. This story was written. Yeah. See, March 26th was when it happened. And since then, 21 people are still on board. The crew.
I don't understand. I mean, they said that it was this morning. I heard it was the visas had expired, or there was something. But I guess I would assume that accommodations can be made for people that are in that situation on a. I don't know if they're considering it a crime scene. They can't leave, or it's a. Why would those people have to stay on that boat that long? I
don't know. And I'm looking at an article from CNN even, and it just says their cell phones have been confiscated by the FBI.
Like they can go somewhere, take them somewhere on land, even if it is jail or some form of that, you know, just
and they go on to say it could be more weeks or even months before they can leave. Complications include the U.S. visas that expired. What else is why would they not find put them in jail?
Right. I mean, there's got to be a loophole somewhere where, okay, if your visa is expired, but this happened, so let's figure this out.
But they says, however long the investigation takes, the crew's rights and welfare should not be infringed upon. It says one person with a union for the Seafarers International, and they're trying to figure out a way to do something with these people. That is insane.
I know, it's insane. Well, I know just listening and working on Total Ship Show, and Malia has said many times that the maritime law is just like the Wild West in some place. You would think that in Baltimore and the inside there, it'd be governed by some other law, but maybe that has something to do with it.
I think it does, because the crew members, they said, cannot set foot on U.S. soil. Their 1 month visas expired. And so they're trapped on the boat. While they're on the boat, it still belongs to the country of origin, right? So they're technically on that, that belongs to that country. Ships management is saying they don't know when the crew can leave. They're going to be on there for the foreseeable future.
How about they just apply for new visas? Like, if you lose your passport, you can do a rush job for 48 hours and get it to you. Why can't you just do that now with that?
I think there's a little more to it.
Probably.
Because
they can't get mail out of there anyway. So
right. Let's see. The boat, they said, was finally moved and taken to port this morning. Brian just said that. So I wonder if they're going to get, but they can't at least they're at port. Now maybe they can get them supplies, but they took their phone, but because they're still investigating. True. They don't know if it was intentional or if somebody was at fault. Right. Yeah. And they're trying, so they can't let them go. That's just crazy stuff. That really is. So yeah. So I'm trying to see if there's anything else that I think that's the only other thing I had was, I know everybody's talking about the commencement speech that has been heard around the world from the Kansas City kicker, but there was another commencement speaker. I'm just going to bring this one up real quick. His name is Robert Hale Jr. and he spoke at University of Massachusetts in Dartmouth, and there are 1,200 students. And he's a billionaire. He gave out $1,000 to each one of them. And the $1,000 though came with a catch. The students were given 2 envelopes. Each has $500. One envelope is to be used as a gift that the students can give to anyone or somebody in need or a charity or a cause that's close to their heart.
That's cool.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
It says the greatest joys we've had in our life have been the gift of giving. And in these trying times, it has heightened the need for sharing. And not everybody is in a position to be able to give. And he wants to give them the opportunity to do so.
That's awesome.
I thought that was really cool. So
well,
there.
We're leaving on a positive.
Leaving on a positive. I'm going to go out and with a smile on my face now, ready to kick butt on a Monday, right?
Yep.
Ready to go.
It was in, I think it was earlier this week that we left on not quite such a positive when you shared the video with me of the guy sticking the gas pump up his butt. So this is a completely opposite direction of that. Hold
on. I have an update on that too.
Oh, amazing.
He's not. Thanks for bringing that up, Pat.
What could there possibly be an update on this for?
There's a guy on Twitter. His name is David Burge. If you happen, he's from Iowa, and he actually, I think his name is, or his handle is Iowa Hawk Blog, HAWK, Iowa Hawk Blog. Let me see if I can go. He's got like 1 million followers or something. He's funny as can be, but he's just really random. Sometimes political, sometimes just day observations, that kind of stuff. And he had posted the other day. I've said that nothing could ever make me quit Twitter. That was before I saw Gas Nozzle Man. And it's like been seen 1 billion times. Everybody now knows who Gas Nozzle Man is. So there's that. Yeah. Iowa Hawk Blog, 250,000 followers. He's from Iowa originally. He's in Austin now, but he's a pretty funny dude. But anyway,
sweet.
No idea. So I thought that kind of sums it up, I think, for everybody. So nothing. Nobody's seen him anywhere else now, but I think a lot of people felt the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of really bad stuff on Twitter, read some really bad stuff, learned some stuff, but that
was bottom of the barrel. Yeah.
Didn't need it.
Nope. Didn't need it. Oh man.
All right. So that'll do it for the Facebook Live for today.
Hopefully you guys have a great rest of the week, and make sure you rate and review and subscribe to our podcast because it helps you get notified when we have new episodes, which is every day.
There you go.
All right. Thank you guys so much for everything. Have a great one. See ya.
Pat and JT Podcast, a Hurrdat Media Production. Pat and JT Podcast, a Hurrdat Media Production.